watching WKYT News at noon.
Good afternoon. Bill Bryant and Barbara Bailey for WKYT News. We're approaching 12:30.
There are new developments out of Paris overnight.
French officials confirm the ringleader of last week's terror attacks is dead. He was one of the people killed in a raid yesterday. Diane Gallagher is in Paris with the latest in our top story at 12:30.
The French prosecutor's office says Abdelhamid Abaoud was killed Wednesday in a raid north of Paris. They add fingerprints confirmed his identity. Wiretap evidence led police to an apartment in Saint-Denis where they battled ISIS militants in a bloody 7-hour raid. Abaoud's cousin also died there when she blew herself up. New dramatic surveillance video has surfaced on thedailymail.com. The footage was shot inside La Casa Nostra Cafe as it came under fire from a gunman. You can see people running for cover as a barrage of bullets fill the cafe. Belgian law enforcement conducted half a dozen raids in Brussels Thursday, focusing on the friends and family of one of the Paris attackers. Bilal Addafi blew himself up outside the Stade de France, according to police. Meanwhile, France's lower house of parliament approved extending the state of emergency through February. The upper house has to take the measure up tomorrow. France's president says his country is taking the lead in taking out ISIS.
The right rule of law is the most precious thing for man. Daesh is making war against our ideas, our art of living on life in France.
Spain's interior minister says the alleged mastermind of the Paris attacks had used internet social networks to try to recruit women from Spain to join the Islamic State group.
In other news, the Southern Kentucky Fire Department isn't sure how it's going to replace some of its equipment after it was ruined while fighting a fire. A dozen sets of turnout gear belonging to the West Knox Fire Department near Corbin were soaked in fuel. As WKYT's Phil Pendleton reports now from Corbin, the fire chief says the situation has crippled their volunteer force. The story is new at 12:30.
The fire chief tells me that this all happened about a week ago when they were fighting a fire at a plant not far from here that makes a kind of fuel that got actually on the turnout gear worn by the firefighters. All of that turnout gear, 12 sets, are now ruined because of this fire. Now, this is worth about $30,000. Some hoses were also damaged. And the fire chief says they have billed the company where they were fighting the fire to recoup the costs, but they have not been able to get a hold of them, nor have they heard back from them. And now they're not sure how they will recoup the costs to replace the gear.
That puts us about a third of our force that doesn't have gear, the proper gear to fight fire. And being volunteer, you can't have 12 people that don't have gear.
And with 12 firefighters basically not able to do their job safely, the fire chief says that other local departments are coming to their aid. However, this fire department responds to more than 360 calls a year. That's basically one call every day. He says not replacing the gear is not an option. In Knox County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Now, the chief says they're considering having a fundraiser to raise that money if avenues to bill the company come up short.
Two men accused of murdering a Montgomery County man made their first court appearance this morning. Investigators say Cody Hall and Nikki Miller robbed and murdered Paul Brewer at his home back in December of 2011. The men were just arrested last week. During today's hearing, a judge appointed them public defenders and set their next court date. Investigators say they expect to make more arrests. State police say they are investigating a high school boys basketball team today. Police tell us the investigation involves allegations of inappropriate behavior at Powell County High School. The investigation just started a few hours ago, and police say they don't have much information to release at this point. We are told the school is planning to release a statement about the investigation soon, some point this afternoon.
Some students at Berea College have become targets of harassment. There have been several reports of incidents where racist or gender-based slurs were yelled at students from someone driving by. WKYT's Victor Puente shows us what's being done to try and fight the problem.
School administrators tell me this type of harassment isn't that new. They say the most recent incidents are similar to what students have been putting up with for years. Yesterday, the college posted a letter on its website addressing what it's calling drive-by racism and homophobia. They say over homecoming weekend, several students had racist and gendered slurs yelled at them by someone driving by the campus in a truck flying the Confederate flag. The letter says the university recognizes each individual's right to free speech, but they're against anyone trying to intimidate their students. Linda Strong-Leak is the Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion and Associate Vice President for Academic Affairs here at Berea College. She says students have been working to oppose that type of behavior.
Probably in my generation it would just be that's the way it is. I think our students really believe that we are moving towards a world in which all people are valued and that we should be moving towards that world. I think they believe in the founding documents of our country.
Dean of Faculty Chad Berry told me they're planning a response to this harassment, which will include posters along Chestnut Street, as well as a show of support from the community. In Madison County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Victor, thank you. Berea College was founded in 1855 by abolitionist John G. Fee.
Police say a woman tried to lie about her identity during a traffic stop. Kimberly Peevely Herring was a passenger in a car that they stopped early this morning. Police say she tried to convince them that she was an underage female when she is actually 30. She was arrested on 2 warrants and drug charges. Well, 2 people were arrested after an overnight police chase in 2 Kentucky counties. The chase ended in Scott County, where the suspects suddenly jumped out of a car. Georgetown police say the search led to a brief lockdown at the Toyota plant. We don't know what started the chase in Grant County, and no names have ever been released in this.
A Lexington gas station was damaged during an early morning burglary. Someone smashed their way through a front window of the Marathon on East Tiverton Way. Police say cartons of cigarettes and other items were stolen.
Major political development today in Frankfort. A Kentucky State House Representatives has switched parties. Democrat Denver Butler filed for re-election today as a Republican. The switch means that Republicans are now just 4 seats short of a majority, something that they haven't seen since 1921. Kentucky is the only southern state with a Democratic-controlled House at this point. Kentucky's jobless rate dropped last month. It was just under 5% in October. That's the state's lowest jobless rate in more than 14 years. The rate is significantly lower than October of 2014, when it was at 5.6%.
The Fayette County Courthouse Plaza is not only getting decorated for the holidays, but with artwork. UK students are promoting literacy through creativity with these flags on the Courthouse Plaza. The project highlights themes of books chosen by the university's common reading experience. Students participating are fulfilling a part of their requirement to graduate.
All right, and
Something
it looks
to look
nice.
for.
Yeah, right. So you don't like Mondays. Turns out they could even be bad for your health.
Also, it's your brain, not your tongue, that determines how something actually tastes. Our Better Living report is coming up on WKYT.
Not too bad the next couple of days, but we hit the weekend and things will change drastically. I'll show you what you can expect to plan out your weekend coming up.